and with brand new tires I have to be a little cautious. I know I always say that and then I end up going like 150 miles an hour in the turns. No, I truly mean it. I have to be cautious. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel with the ride review on the Core Moto Apex 6 wheels. Obviously this will be a review on the wheels, but I have so many other items on the bike that I want to go over. New brake rotors, the Brembo rotors, Vestra Super RJL brake pads, how do they perform, the lightweight rear rotor, everything. I'm gonna go over everything, but the main subject will be the wheels. Now I know I mentioned on my installation video that I had a feeling that these wheels won't make a difference because the weight difference wasn't that much different. I mean, it was 2 point something pounds on the rear, almost 2.5 pounds lighter on the rear, and the front wheel was equal weight. Well, I think I know why front wheel was equal weight. I think these race Brembo rotors are thicker, therefore heavier, so they can add some weight. And also, my tires are brand new. I'm riding the Pirelli Supercorsa RSV4s, so they have more rubber compared to the tires that were worn off. So definitely some weight differences there too. So I'm not the type of guy to try to emotionally justify a purchase. I couldn't care less. You know, I can spend $40,000 on a bike and just say it was crap and waste of money. So I started making this video thinking that I will talk down on these wheels. Now I haven't really ridden the bike yet. I mean, my chicken strips are about this large here. Still, my tires are brand new. I think top speed I've gone so far is like 40-50 miles an hour, 25 degrees lean max, no acceleration, nothing crazy. So I can tell you, and this is not an emotional justification. I wouldn't care. I would be completely honest if I thought these wheels are not good. But I do feel a difference just by riding it at slow turns. Just by doing this, just by this, the bike feels lighter. I know it sounds mind-blowing. I know it's only 2.5 pounds in the rear, and essentially the front is almost the same technically. Not exactly, but technically. But I feel a difference just by riding / commuting. You know, I haven't even pushed the bike to its limits. I haven't even taken turns to lean and take fast exit turns and corners. So I'm curious, like, how would this do with taking a turn at 100 miles an hour if I actually feel a difference at 40 miles an hour without really turning, just by riding it? So it gets a thumbs up by my first reaction. So let's see how it's gonna do going faster in the canyons. It's a little bit cloudy today and the temperature is a little bit low, and with brand new tires I have to be a little cautious. I know I always say that and then I end up going like 150 miles an hour in the turns, but no, I truly mean it. I have to be cautious. Everything's brand new. The rotors and the brake pads, I'm gonna return to the wheels once I'm at the canyons, because right now I have nothing else to review on the wheels other than that they perform better. Even at these speeds, they do perform better. So I'm going to return to the wheel review once I'm at the canyons. But the next thing I want to discuss is the brake rotors and the brake pads. Okay, obviously the first 5 minutes I had no brakes because the brake pads needed to be broken in. Now that I have broken in the brake pads, I have brake, sure, but it's a little bit, I want to know, like smooshy a little bit, as if I don't have that like initial bite, like the one that makes you feel that you're gonna fly off your bike. Maybe, I think maybe it's because these brake pads are technically meant for the track, so they may need a little more temperature to perform better. That's my guess. I've never used the Vestra Super RJL before, so if you have, let me know if that's the case. Is it because they're not warm enough? Is it because I need to break them in a little more? You let me know in the comments. But the brake rotors, it's such an improvement from the stock rotors, because with the stock rotors, I don't want to say I had a pulsation on my brake. I didn't really have a pulsation. I mean, I kind of had a little bit, but it wasn't enough to justify it being a problem. But every time I would push my bike in my garage, the front wheel would make a noise like a ship was docking. So I did some trial and error, and I found that the brake pads were rubbing on the rotors. Even though the run out of the rotors were fine, they were at the limit, but you could tell the difference in quality from the stock rotors to these Brembo rotors. And also the funny thing is, when I brake, I actually hear my brake rotors. I hear like a spinning whistle. Like it's actually kind of cool to hear them while I'm braking hard. Although that's kind of difficult to do with this GP22 in the rear. So I'm loving the brake pads, I'm loving the brake rotors. It just feels higher quality, and with the combination of the wheels, you just feel that you're riding like a properly set up bike for the track, for racing. Before, it felt more like a street bike. Now it feels like I'm riding a track bike, but with street fairings. So I'm loving the feeling. It's definitely an improvement. And, well, two more things. Actually, I went down from a 43 teeth rear to a 42. So far in these speeds, I don't feel much difference. I'll find out how it feels at the canyons. I did 42. I went down 42 from 43 only because I felt that the 43 was a little bit too choppy. And especially with Gabriel's new map, the M-Torque, that was 2 months, man. The first gear was 2 months. So I went down to 42, see how it feels, hoping that the forged wheels will compensate for that increase in wheelbase from going down to 42. Because if you go down to one tooth in the back, the wheelbase becomes longer. So I'll see how that feels at the canyons. And the last item that I installed, and believe it or not, it makes a difference. Well, you might probably ask how it does not make a difference. Well, it's the chain adjusters. So how does the chain adjusters make a difference? Well, I'll tell you how. When I adjust my chain with a traditional way, it's you know, you reach a point where you're like, okay, this is good enough. I have my chain slack, it's good, let's go. Now with the clicks of the chain adjusters, you don't have to go back and forth and guessing and wasting time and getting frustrated and thinking, okay, that's good enough. I'm 28 millimeters chain slack, I'm good. Basically, my chain slack right now, it's 25 millimeters. So the reason I achieved 25 was because it was very easy with clicks. I just clicked it, it went to 25. With a few clicks less, it was 28. I said, let me try 25. It was really fast. So now I'm at 25 chain slack. Quick shifter feels better, throttle response feels better, everything feels better. And I know you'll probably say, okay, just spend a little more time, adjust your chain at 25 millimeters, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I get it, but you know, I'm not the type of guy that has the time to just sit there and adjust it precisely. I want to click something and go. So the chain adjusters provide that to me, so I'm loving them. Okay, I gotta put some temperature on these tires. warm them up, get rid of those chicken strips slowly. Have to ease in the turns. You don't want to drop in the turn right away with brand new tires. Okay, let's start with some easy canyon turns. Gotta take it slow on these lean angles. There's brand new tire. Get rid of the chicken strips. At the same time, I'm trying to concentrate to see how is the agility. How does it feel compared to before? Because these are still slow turns. So, can't really tell the difference. It's the transition that would matter. From one turn to another. And even at these slow speeds, I feel the difference. It does make a difference in slow speeds. Yeah, I don't feel a difference, to be honest, in acceleration from the 43 to the 42. With this new map, it has so much acceleration that so far I don't miss the 43 rear teeth. M-Torque map has enough power to get away with the 42 teeth in the rear. Sure, a little bit more longer wheelbase. Okay, that was a good warm-up. What did I realize so far? Well, going down from a 43 to a 42 makes the wheelbase longer, but the forged wheels, they are compensating for that increase in wheelbase. Exactly what I was thinking. So yes, the agility from the 43 to the 42 has decreased, but because forged wheels, I feel that the agility is where it was with the 43 teeth. But it's not as simple, because you could say, okay, don't install forged wheels, just put a 43, you'll have the agility. Yeah, but the thing is, with the forged wheels, I feel more stable because of the longer wheelbase. I feel more planted. So I would take forged wheels with the 42 over cast wheels with the 43 any day. Place to turn. Let's see if we can do some faster canyon rides. Yes! Oh my God! It never gets old. Do you ever get goosebumps from riding a bike, man, while you're riding it? That's insane, man. Yeah, man, I do not need the 43 teeth. Absolutely not. 42 is a sweet spot. I don't know if I would return to 41. I don't want to. I love the 42. Combination with forged wheels, it's just perfect, man. It's just perfect. Oh man. So I want to do a ride review with the Ducati Panigale V4. I think one of the next videos will be a video with the Panigale I just passed. My body's Panigale. Because I think the Panigale before looks beautiful. And I'm very curious to see how it rides. It's tuned, it has exhaust, it has all that stuff to get a good equal comparison with my RSV4. It has GP shift too, which mine has too. That would be perfect, so I don't get confused. But for now, let's stick to the RSV4. Oh my God, this bike. Yeah, there's more agility in higher speed, man. 100%. So, if I can feel this difference on the canyons, this thing for the track will be a beast. Because at the track is where you can really feel the difference. It's really where you push the limits. Because these are not bike limits. These are just street limits. Because the bike is cruising right now. You know, we make one mistake here, and look where you're going. You know, signs, mountains. Doesn't end up good, guys. So I always reserve. Although it's very tempting not to reserve. and full send it, but you can't, man, because usually when you full send it, that's where things happen. So you can correct things in the track, can't really correct things here. So okay, so far, how does it feel? It feels amazing, man. It feels amazing. You do feel the difference. I'm actually so surprised that I'm admitting to this. I really thought that I will not feel the difference. I was like 2.5 pounds on the rear. What's that? Nothing. I mean, I know it's rotational mass, but still, but nope, I was wrong. It does make a difference. Every single gram makes a difference. So I'm used to a different weight balance of this bike. So I'm leaning in the turn before I should, but with the forged wheels, the bike just turns in. I don't know if you noticed, I'm taking the turns too early. So that's just proof there. That's just proof there that the bike is lighter. It's more agile. Because with the cast wheels, I was used to bringing my body in first, trail braking, going into the turn. Now I do all that and the bike is already in the turn. So you can delay your braking. You can trail brake later into the turn and drop into the turn later. Which just proves that this thing for the track is a must. Forged wheels for the track is a must. If you are at the level to be able to take advantage of it, of course. Because let's be realistic here, most people are not at the level to squeeze out everything out of an RSV4 on the track. Some people cannot even squeeze an RS660 out of the track. So I know it hurts feelings. Most people think that they're fast, but you think you're fast up until you see someone that's truly fast. Now look at this skyline, man. So the question is it worth $5,000 for this upgrade? Well, there's no yes or no. It depends. It depends what your riding level is. It depends if you're riding on the street, if you're riding on the track. So, and also, you know, unfortunately, it also depends on someone's financial ability to be able to, quote unquote, waste $5,000. So, for the street, assuming cost is not an issue, absolutely. I 100% agree, you need forged wheels. So for instance, an RSV4 factory would be a better choice than the base model because it comes already with forged wheels. I'm not going to talk on the electronic suspension, that's a different discussion, but yes, for the street, it is worth it. Is it worth it enough to cost $5,000? No. Regardless of your financial status, and whether you're going to waste $5,000 or not, it is not worth it. You're not going to gain that much on the street where it's worth $5,000. So if you want to spend it because you can and because you want your bike to look good and all that good stuff, sure, go ahead and spend it. I did. I don't care. I wanted to spend it. I wanted to put it on my bike. I was curious to see what the difference is. Of course, I personally did it for the channel. I will be honest, if it wasn't for the channel, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have spent $5,000 just to see and, you know, satisfy my curiosity of how it feels. I could just go maybe ride an RSV4 factory and see the difference, test ride one and see the difference. So yeah, street, You don't really have to. If you want to, go ahead, spend it. You're gonna love it. Now for the track, sure, what's your riding level? Do you really need it? What kind of track rider are you? Are you racing? Because if you're racing, yes, 100% yes. Now of course in certain levels of racing, there are times where people prefer cast wheels because of temperature differences to the tires. If the weather is too hot, you might want cast wheels. It just keeps the temperature more than going the tires and burning your tires. So there are some technicalities that, you know, some riders could use cast wheels in certain weather conditions, but overall as an expense, yeah, if there's money involved that you want to win the race, sure, go spend it. Make your bike as fast as possible, as agile as possible. So for the track, 100%. Now, if you're tracking like once or twice a year for fun, you know, yeah, you'll feel the difference. You will love the bike, but is it worth it? Especially on the track where you technically have higher chances of going down, because I'm assuming you would be pushing a little more limits there. You don't want a bike to go down where, you know, every part reaches that kind of price. So overall, I think it's a personal choice. You know, that's why I made this video. I hope that with all this information, you got the answer you wanted, whether it's worth it or not. You let me know in the comments. Is it worth it? Would you do it? Based on this ride review, would you spend $5,000 to gain? What would you gain? There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.